Infected is brought to you by GoDaddy.com. For big savings on all your web hosting needs, enter the promo code JOEY.
Infected.
Hello and welcome to Infected, the internet television equivalent of Dennis Kucinich. Creative, bright, says all the right things, but kind of looks a little goofy, so nobody takes him seriously. I'm Internet's Martin Sargent. Oh. And I'm joined, as always, by the VP, the Gator.
What's up, dog?
How you doing, dog? Actually, I should probably say the VD. All the shit that you gotten yourself into over the years.
Come on now, you got to bring up that after.
Yeah, I got to bring that up. Only guy I know who keeps a steel brush in the glove compartment of his truck just so he can scrape off all the sores before he goes out at night.
All you need is a you need a can of Mountain Dew and a lemon peel. You ain't gonna catch nothing. Hey, you brought up that Dennis Kucinich. I like that little guy.
I like Denny Kucinich. You know, if he didn't look like Gollum from the Lord of the Rings movies, I think he'd be doing all right.
He got some good points. That one better Ron Paul, maybe.
You know, it's tough. People they compare Ron Paul and Dennis Kucinich. They're on opposite ends of the political spectrum. But the thing is, they both kind of make sense in their own little way. We're getting way too cerebral for Infected right now.
They kind of meet in the back room.
We're showing people that we like read and stuff like that.
They kind of meet in the back room. I'm really political. Y'all need to vote.
You're political. Who are you going to vote for?
Maybe Ron Paul, maybe Dennis Kucinich. Yeah, I don't know yet. We'll see how it plays
out. You know, this is, in fact, the vote. It's our very serious look at the 2008 presidential election. And, you know, Chris Dodd, Mike Gravel, Duncan Hunter, Tom Tancredo, those guys, the big names, that's who we're going to be talking about tonight. Kucinich, Ron Paul.
Right, those guys are...
The big names.
They're the ones.
Nobody knows any of those people.
They're out front of the pack.
Well, we invited all those people and all the other candidates to come on our forum here tonight, and guess what? Not only did they all say no, they didn't even all say no. They all just ignored us. We didn't even get a response from anyone.
Ron Paul said he had to go jet skiing or something.
He said something. But, you know, I guess they're all too busy with that YouTube shit. You know, that YouTube debate?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like, yeah, they got this YouTube debate. Like now even like you can use YouTube as an excuse to not come on the show and talk politics. Like, because you're too busy with YouTube.
That YouTube lately, though.
Yeah,
from that, I didn't steal that from Patrick Norton, that laptop you gave me.
Well, I'll tell you who we do have. We have somebody that none of the other big political talk shows do have. We have the candidate for president. His name is Lee L. Mercer. He's running on the Democratic ticket. He lives in Houston, Texas, and he says that he has solved every crime ever committed.
Good Lord, I hope not.
So fuck you, Barack Obama. Fuck you, Hillary Clinton. Have you solved any crimes? No, I don't think so. And you know what? Fuck you too, Wolf Blitzer. Is this guy on your show? No.
Do you have to use that nasty language all the time? We're doing a political special here. Let's try to keep it up above board.
Yeah, all right. Fuck Tim Mercer, too. He ain't got Mercer. He ain't got Mercer on his show.
That old son of a bitch, Tim Mercer.
You know, this Lee Mercer guy, he has the most amazing platforms. And we're going to get into all this. We're going to get into all this stuff. But my favorite one is that he solved every crime. Because I know he hasn't solved every crime. Because I've committed at least 3 to 5 crimes just today. Like in between the breaks on this show, I've committed crimes. Is Lee Mercer coming here? Coming to get me? No. So, I mean, I'm really ready to pick his brain about this stuff because...
I just gassed and ran down there at the corner about a half hour ago. Lee Mercer didn't show up. He went nowhere.
Anyway, we're going to find out if we should all be supporting this Lee L. Mercer character. I think he's got some really compelling... You know, he wants to give $350,000 to every American citizen, and that's how he's going to solve poverty. Well, it makes a lot of sense, right?
That sort of sends you spinning there a little bit. We'll talk to him about it.
We'll talk to him a little bit about that. But in the meantime, you know, ever since I moved up here to San Francisco town, back from L.A., I've been having a lot of important things to say. I've been inspired. I've been blogging again. I've been having such important thoughts that I might want to run for president, but I'm not. Instead, I'm going to funnel those thoughts into my blogging.
Into art.
It's a little segment that we call Blogging by the Bay.
I'm proud of you.
Old Big Bay, with your bright, busy boats, I sometimes wish I were elected to be a great and powerful politician. A leader of men. Think of all the good I might accomplish. First off, things would change around these parts. I'd scour the filth from these streets like a strong and cleansing rain. After that,
I'd crush my enemies with the fearful hammer of justice. And then, with none left to oppose me, I'd spread my man-seed across the country like a viscous coat of gravy, leaving nothing and no one untouched. And finally, encircled by an army of my clear-eyed offspring, we would dance the touching dance in preparation for the great undoing. Oh, and we'd also wear these really cool white poncho-type things that I designed. How cool would that be?
Thanks, Bay. You know what I would do if I was president? First fucking thing I'd do.
What would you do?
I would pull all the troops out of Iraq and Afghanistan. And not for all those reasons that everyone else is always bantering on about. It's because over in Iraq and Afghanistan, they have these crazy wasp swarms. Have you seen these things? Have you seen these wasp swarms over there?
I've seen some big spiders over there.
Yeah, they got those spiders too, but they have these crazy wasps. And that actually is tonight's Martin's Museum of Internet Oddities. Check this out. Wasps.
Oh.
Crazy Afghani wasps.
Man.
So these guys, they need to clear a path, right? They're trying to get their convoy through. They're trying to clear a path, so they decide to blow all the rocks up in the path. Well, they didn't know that underneath the path, underneath the road, was this huge nest of killer wasps. And they caught it all on video. And that, my friends, is tonight's Museum of Internet Oddities exhibit. Let's take a look. Check this out. So that's where they need to get by, right there. Boom! So they blow it up, right? Yeah. It's crazy, right? Okay, direct hit. We have some really good equipment. Now, you see all these things flying around here? What do you think those are?
Oh, man, that's special effects, ain't it?
No, that's not special effects. That is not detritus from... That is crazy killer wasp, man. That's the freakiest thing I've ever seen.
Wasps freak me out more than bees.
Well, wasps are so much worse than bees.
They got that abdomen.
Yellow jackets, wasps, anything from the genus Vespa. Can you imagine being over in Afghanistan? I mean, are there not enough awful reasons to be stationed in Iraq and Afghanistan, but you got to deal with this bullshit on the daily?
Yeah, fuck that, man. You got to. You're like, I'm over here in fucking Afghanistan.
I don't care how many little little packages of cookies Mom sends me. It's not going to make me feel better after I got attacked by all those killer wasps.
You know what I found in my house the other night? My flop
dead
house.
Girl?
No. Y'all, this is serious. I found a Jerusalem cricket.
The fuck's a Jerusalem cricket?
Look it up. A Jerusalem cricket. Just look it up. That's enough said. Y'all look it up. Jerusalem cricket. That's all I need to say. And it freaked me out. It looked like a fucking octopus.
All I need to say is I will vote for any candidate out there, maybe even you, Lee L. Mercer, who pledges that they will eradicate all wasps and hornets upon achieving the presidency. Fuck terrorists. That's not a threat. Wasps.
Jerusalem crickets, too.
They're coming to get us. All right, we're going to have to ask Lee L. Mercer if he'll do that for us a little bit later. Anyway, we're going to ask Lee Mercer that. We're going to ask him a whole bunch of other stuff right after this word from our sponsor.
Do you think he'll bust me for all them times I dined and dashed at the Long John Silver's?
I wonder if Lee L. Mercer, with his machine that can tell every crime that's been committed, knows that I'm doing this show completely bombed right now. I don't think you need a special hot wire machine to tell that, do you, Infected Army?
Go ahead and cut that off. We're going to break.
Oh, hey, Martin Sargent here. You know those weirdos who try to visit every Major League Baseball park? Well, I'm sort of doing the same thing, only I'm doing it with websites. I'm hitting the road to go behind every site on my favorites bar, and you're riding shotgun. I call it web drifting. So you better buckle up, because it's gonna get wild. That's web drift. Pick a lane, asshole!
The internet is full of weird, wild, and sexy websites, and Martin Sargent has visited them all. Now, he's going out into the world to visit them again, but this time, he's going in person. He's going behind the website to meet the genius kooks who made them face to face.
Martin, you sure you don't want an enema?
Whether it's swinging with Peter Pan, or swimming with leather oaks, casting big spells with wise wizards, or just a day out hunting Bigfoot. No website is too far out there, too weird, or just plain too crazy for Martin Sargent to go behind.
I'm so scared.
It's the darkest, wildest, most untamed corners of the internet caught on film. It's Web Drifter, and you're coming along for the ride. Web Drifter, only on Revision 3.
See you there.
Infected. And welcome back to Infect the Vote, our guide to the 2008 presidential election. My next friend is a Democratic candidate for the presidency of the United States. From Houston, Texas, and the website MercerForPresident2008.com, here's Lee L. Mercer. How you doing, Mr. Mercer?
Just fine. How are you today, Mr. Moore?
Very well, very well. Thank you so much for being here on Infected and answering some of our important questions as we look for a candidate for us and our audience to vote for in 2008.
Yes.
Now you state on your platform that your platform for the presidency is criminal law, correct?
Yes.
And according to your website, reason number 23 for your candidacy is that you, quote, have solved every crime in the world as it happens from zero to start to finish. How did you do that? How did you solve every crime that's ever been perpetrated?
I solved every crime with a hot wire plus an invention that I did with the United States Congress, working for the United States Army, Military Intelligence Academy, Camp Willis, San Antonio, Texas, University of Texas, ROTC.
So let me just stop right there. So you have an invention called the hot wire?
The hot wire is an invention by the United States Army and Military Intelligence Academy, but my invention, I'm going to say, I've talked there and in other places, it's criminal intelligence.
So getting back to this hot wire, how does this work? How does this hot wire, technologically speaking, work, and how does it allow you to solve crimes?
The hot wire works on each person, human being, you, me, every citizen in the world, every citizen in the United States of America, is a means of communications.
Okay.
All right.
And the communications itself works back to the criminal intelligence, which is a questioning, or something similar to like a recording of people's acts and actions, ideas, and it comes out to give us an answer about what the person is doing at any time of the day.
Well, I've got to say, though, I have, and I'm not proud to admit this, but I have committed some crimes for which I was never caught. That being said, how come the hot wire didn't stop me from doing that? Or why was I not persecuted for those crimes?
Prosecuted, you mean?
Prosecuted?
Yes.
Yes.
You got me on the few too there, Mr. Mercer. Go ahead, I'm sorry. The wire.
Go ahead.
I can answer that. The word persecuted, that's dealing with religion.
I meant to say prosecuted. How come I was never prosecuted for my crimes that I did commit but was never caught for?
Okay, that's something that we have a system which was developed by, and the law developed by the United States Congress. So the first thing we had to do was collect data from you that you have committed a crime. Okay, then through something that I invented, this crime that you've committed, it registers according to the legislature, criminal law.
Okay.
So say for instance you were not had raped a person.
No, I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
Okay, say if it's just committed a crime.
Okay, yeah, it was kind of a harmless crime. It was basically only hurting myself, if you know what I'm talking about.
Like he dined and dashed down to Long John Silver's.
Okay, the way the law is set up, the law works is that when you go to court or you hurt a person or commit a crime to a person, it's called an injury or a damage. So you either injure something or you damage something. So when you go to court, it'll classify as an injury. You injured me, and then the law picks it up as a critical incident.
So let me get this straight. Let's say right outside my house right now, there's a woman walking down the street, and this guy runs up and snatches her purse. Does the hot wire know about that?
Yes, the hot wire knows about it. It'll send us a signal. The signal will register under the person having the criminal intent.
Dude, I don't know,
Mr. Mercer, you don't want to arrest me because I'm going to vote for you because you're a Democrat. I like Democrats anyway. I was wondering, what you think about that of Barack Obama?
He's a candidate, just like I am, and any other person. He has a right to his life, liberty, and justice.
Is he committing crimes?
He has a right to run for president of the United States.
Has he committed any crimes that the hot wires picked up?
That's something that, that's private. It's be like lawyer-client privilege.
Right.
And something I can tell you about it now, but there are people committing crimes. The crimes are being registered, and the crimes are being reviewed by lawyers.
This is kind of scary. I mean, the two words "Big Brother" kind of come to mind.
It should make you feel safe.
But also on your website, you say that there are two presidents, and you are one of those presidents already.
That's right.
So you are a president. So if you're already a president, why do you want to run to be president again? Why do you need to be both presidents?
It has to be divulged, and me myself, I've gone through to be divulged, like a debriefing.
Mm-hmm.
And my debriefing was blocked. My debriefing was blocked first by Mr. Attorney General Ashcroft. I looked up the website under Mr. Ashcroft's candidacy, and he has missing persons, 1.5 million people.
Lord.
880,000 million people missing, reported missing. 550,000 people are missing, unreported.
Don't you know where all those people are, though, through the hot wire?
Yeah, we know where they are, but see, that's the thing that has to be revealed.
Right. Do you know where Osama bin Laden is through the hot wire?
Yes.
Where is he?
Yeah, I don't
He's overseas.
Of course he's overseas.
I thought I saw him at a Stuckey's.
I mean, can you pinpoint him? You know exactly where he is.
We can. The thing about that is, that's why I'm talking. I like to be revealed. I need to be revealed, and I can prove it to the public.
Okay.
The thing is, let the public see me. I need to come out and show the public what we've done in education. This is the United States Army Military Intelligence Academy. I'm so supported by the United States Army. They guarantees my program is successful. It went under research and development 5 years by researchers and developers of the Army and Department of Justice. This is an Army and Department of Justice program to bring law and order to America.
Here's one thing that is going to make a lot of voters want to vote for you, and that's your idea that you can eliminate poverty by giving every United States citizen $350,000.
Right.
I'm not an economist here, but if everyone gets the same amount of money, $350,000, then won't they be relative to everyone else just as rich or poor as they were before?
Good point.
No. This is one of the things is that when President Clinton was president, we were reviewing legislature. Like I said, we have to go back into the Library of Congress and have to find out what's going on. We audited. Audit means that we looked for the money, we looked for words, and we looked for laws. We audit laws to make sure that laws and things are correct. One of the things is that a citizen in America, in which he rewrote, and not in error, is that a rich person is considered rich when they make $225,000 per year.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like an income of a lower class person is $15,000 a year.
Right.
You have an upper, lower, middle echelon. All that's moved out, so we have what's called just a rich person. So $225,000 a year, you're considered to be rich as an American citizen.
Yeah.
If a citizen making $350,000 is above the $250,000 per year income level that says he's a citizen.
All right, you sold me on that one now. You sold me on that
Mr. Mercer, let me just ask you one question here, because I know you talk about that hot wire. This is Gator here. I drove my truck down in Arkansas a few years back, and I woke up one morning and somebody stole all the Hungry Man dinners out of my fridge, and I'm pretty damn sure it was Hillary Clinton. Now, if you get that hot wire and arrest her, you get her out of your way. I was wondering.
That's one of the things that's going to really save America. Say, for instance, you call that in to the police. The police say, gosh, we can't do anything. Oh, what they do is they come out and they do an incident report, and they write up the incident report, and they never find her.
You take her out of the picture, and I'll vote for you.
They can't prove she's guilty. Now, the hot wire, we've set up what's going to be like, the government made this intelligence. That's why we have a second government. Because the police departments, they have what's called, you look at TV, it's called cold cases and things like cases that have never been solved for murder, just whatever, really murder or so forth. But in that situation with a robbery, we're going to have that information.
That old pantsuit wearing woman ate all my Hungry Man dinners all over me.
You call intelligence and we'll have it.
Well, Mr. Mercer, you have my vote, and I think it's safe to say that you have the vote of a lot of our viewers. It was really great talking to you, and best of luck on the campaign, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That is Lee L. Mercer, Democratic President for the United States. I mean, candidate for president and president. He's president too. Hey, if you want more on his platforms and lots of information, or if you want to donate to his campaign, all you got to do is go to mercerforpresident2008.com.
Take that Hillary out.
And that's going to have to do it for Infect the Vote.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Why are you done?
Because I'm done. That's it.
I think we need just a story.
I don't know. I think we got a lot of stories right there from Mr. Mercer.
Well, a little too much, but I'd rather you tell a story to me right now.
Oh, all right. I'll tell you one
Make it a happy
short
one.
story.
Good.
This is the story of Timmy Tomlinson. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Timmy Tomlinson. To say Timmy wasn't the most popular kid in his 9th grade class would be a bit of an understatement. If a poll were taken, most of the other kids would probably rather catch the sexually transmitted form of bird flu than be caught dead even speaking with Timmy. He was fat, he had bad breath, he wore sweatpants in all weather, and he was pretty much friendless. So it took everyone off guard when Timmy announced that he would be running for class president. "Are you sure you want to do this, Timmy?" asked Mr. Talbert with genuine concern for Timmy's ego, not to mention his physical safety. "Yes," answered Timmy as he filed his candidacy and shuffled away to hide in the AV Club darkroom. But things were about to change for Timmy, and here's why. As the backbone of his candidacy, Timmy promised that he would have free wireless internet installed in the school, and that each kid who wanted would also get a free laptop courtesy of Timothy's dad, Ron, who was a bigwig at Dell Computer. Timmy also built a website to support his run for president and loaded up with tons of hilarious videos off YouTube. All the things that he'd spent the last 7 years of his friendless life as a loner seeking out and categorizing on his PC. Kids crashing bikes, terrible car crashes, backyard fights, sexy dances, all the funniest and most outrageous videos in the world. And believe it or not, listener, Timmy's site was a huge hit. And the video that everyone liked above all the others was a little clip of a happy circus chimp named Benny who shat in his paw and threw it at his trainers. This video was the key that unlocked everything for Timmy, who was suddenly and shockingly, for those who didn't grasp the power of the internet, quite popular. And when he won the election in a landslide, Timmy decided to add a little extra flair to his swearing-in ceremony by renting a chimp from a roadside zoo on the outskirts of town and having it at his side during his inauguration, which was set to take place in front of the entire school one Friday afternoon in a cavernous gymnasium. When he came up to the podium, he had with him a chimp on a leash that looked just like Benny, and of course the crowd just went wild. And that's when things got out of hand. Without much warning, the chimp became agitated and suddenly broke free of his chain and set upon Principal Gomez, tearing off his face with a single bite. He then attacked Coach Benner, who tried to come to the principal's aid, ripping off his arm and then tearing a giant hunk of meat out of his left buttock. Benny then rushed the crowd, swinging Coach Benner's severed arm like a cavalry officer leading a wild charge. Once in their panicked midst, the chimp began ripping students limb from limb. Finally, Animal Control came and shot that gore-clicked devil monkey down in a hail of gunfire in the boys' locker room, but not before it killed about a dozen more students, decapitated the school nurse, and chewed the faces off 3 SWAT officers. And that wasn't the end. As it turns out, this hell chimp had some kind of terrible virus in his saliva that spread through the town and 6 neighboring towns like wildfire, killing hundreds of people who died in great pain in the grips of a fever so terrible it basically melted people down from the inside and caused them to bleed out their internal organs in a black hot liquid through their buttholes. Needless to say, Timmy didn't ever become president. In fact, he went to juvenile detention until he was 18, and then went to jail. The lesson is that the internet might get you elected, but unless you can master the real world, you're still kind of fucked. The end.
Timmy never should be taking them chimps from the.
That was his mistake.
Taking that chimp to the inauguration.
You can't take a wild animal in an inauguration like that.
He mixed up the internet world with the real world, and he brought that chimp in with him from a roadside zoo, some random chimp, and those things are stronger than hell. I've seen a chimp lift a Volkswagen and throw it over its head.
They're surprisingly strong.
Very strong.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that really is going to have to do it for Infect the Vote. I'd like to thank my friend Lee L. Mercer for stopping by. Check out mercerforpresident2008.com if you want to know more about his platform or donate.
Wonderful, man. Neat.
For the Gator, this is Martin Sargent reminding you, don't get rich. Buy the Riptide. Don't forget to vote this year, people. We'll see you at the bar or the voting booth.
Don't let me catch you not voting. I'll whoop your ass.
Well, you've been watching and listening to Infected. That was a big, hot, steaming pile of crazy. I hope you enjoyed it. Lessons there are all over the place. Don't get caught by the hot wire. Don't get a chimp from the roadside zoo. Don't do any of those things. Just, if you get elected president, for Christ's sakes, just go up there and take the goddamn award. Don't bring a chimp with you. And don't probably vote for Lee Mercer. I don't know. So what was his name?
I'll vote for Lee Mercer.
Oh, I will too, I guess. Fuck it. You're infected.
Infected is written by Martin Sargent and Jay Speiden. Camera and editing by Jordan Dertinger. Kevin MacLeod composed our music. Have a comment? Use the message boards at revision3.com/forum. And watch our other show, Web Drifter, at revision3.com/webdrifter. Vote Mercer!
Mercer!
Vote Mercer!
Vote Mercer, vote Hotwire.